Mesti aku nak jadi
Nak ke macam mana? Ke nak stay?
stay lagi kejap. Aku nak stay kejap. Aku nak jumpa sikit.
Hari ni?
Sekejap. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ladies and gentlemen. So now our parents, whereby in this session we will share about the student experience, our journey throughout their studies at UTP, about the student exchange, internship, mobility, students clubs and societies, their studies club, and all about the campus life at the universities. And also we'll share about the accommodation, how's the accommodation, what are the services from residential village that being offered to students. And also, and the later part is about the sponsorship. Sponsorship where what kind of financial assistance, what kind of sponsorship, scholarship that is available for, especially for May intake and also for September intake later on. So, first of all, without further ado, I would like to invite Puan Anis Farihin from Student Center for Student Development to share about the student experience at UTP. Okay, I would like to invite Puan Anis Farihin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tajul. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone, to all parents out there. Thank you for joining this session with Center for Student Development, CSD. My name is Anis Farahin, and I will briefly explain on student experience and development in UTP. Okay, for your information, Center for Student Development is the department who in charge of supporting personal development of students. Here at UTP, we take seriously in enhancing students' experience and provide the best development programs, not only in academic, but also on the interpersonal skills. CSD have 5 offices, which each office plays an important role in supporting students' development and students' experience in UTP. In a simpler word, we nurture our students' skills beyond classroom in terms of leadership skills and also interpersonal skills. Let me start with Career Development Office. This office main goal is to equip students with career-ready skills in enhancing marketability upon graduates. What I mean by this is that we want to make sure that our graduate will get the job they want upon graduation. Okay, we crafted many programs for our students as per you can see on the right bottom of your screen. Some of the programs really benefit the students, such as like industrial visit, where we bring students to the company to take a look at the office lifestyle. And then we also have the campus mock interview, career fair, trend talk, and also CV clinics. CV clinics ni kita macam kita ajar our students untuk write up their resume to look more professionals lah in terms of dari kacamata seorang employer, okay? Okay, to share with all of you, 95% of UTP graduates were employed by private sector companies, including MNC and JLC, which means that these are big company, top company lah dekat Malaysia ni. And they receive salary above national average, which is 3,000 ringgit and above. Okay, UTP also have a very unique and niche internship programs, which we have the longest internship structure, 7 months lah, dia 7 bulan, okay. So sepanjang latihan industri ni, sepanjang 7 bulan ni, company biasanya akan bagi projek dekat students untuk handle. So bila students ada projek tu, then they can write up and their resume, so it will make their resume look more professional. So this has made our internship program is highly demand among industry partner. Our students also have the opportunities to do their internship at overseas and also international company. As you can see on the screen, these are some of our internship partners such as Petronas, Intel, ExxonMobil, Dialog, and many more. These are all big company because they know that UTP will produce high quality students. Okay, just to share with you guys, one of internship success stories from our previous students. His name is Sharul Shafiq bin John Rahmat. He is taking Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering, and he has done his 6-month internship in Mitsubishi Fuso, Kawasaki, Japan. So among the opportunities that he get during his internship are that he get his international networking and also travel experience around the Japan. So currently he work as design engineer at ALPS Electric Sendai, Japan. So we move to the next office, Technopreneurship Office. Only encourage students to achieve good academic grade, but also we also highly support our students if they want to venture into business and open their own company. So this is where our techno office came. We want to change the job seeker into job creator mindset among the students. It means that we encourage our students to develop their own company and become the boss themselves and create job opportunities to others. So in order to achieve that, we provide services to the UTP students such as a venue for awareness on entrepreneurship. We provide product development skill sets. We provide business development skill sets, and we also have our own professional staff untuk train our students ni in building up their business from scratch. Okay. Besides that, Techno Office also provide funding assistance. Kita ada apa orang panggil seed fundings for new business. We also provide infrastructure and facilities for products and business development. And also we also provide the avenue for networking with various stakeholders and coaching, mentoring and prosperity of the startup venture tu lah. Kita juga ada provide platform for our students to start their business in UTP. Contoh, as you can see on the bottom left side, kita ada macam apa Hari Canteen, program Hari Canteen. Di mana di program Hari Canteen ni students boleh get creative and sells things during the events. They can start their business lah dekat dalam event tu. So for students with ideas and invention, we provide consultation on the way forward. This include providing students the mentoring and coaching, and also designing their business model. So again, don't worry if your son or daughter minat business, just be assured that we can help them grow their business in UTP. Of course lah, while maintaining their CGPA. Okay, now moving on to Student Mobility Office. In UTP, we encourage our students to have international experience. Kita nak student kita pergi ke luar negara and explore dekat sana. So, banyak cara UTP untuk hantar students ke luar negara. For Student Mobility Office, we offer multiple types of overseas programs to broaden student experience and enhance their self-development to become well-rounded global graduates. So kat sini kita offer tiga main type of outbound mobility program. Outbound ni maksudnya kita hantar student kita ke luar negara. So the first one is student exchange program, or as we call it here SEP, di mana students ni ada opportunity untuk pergi exchange untuk 1 hingga 2 consecutive semester at their preferred university lah, our partner industry dekat sana. Dekat luar negara sana. So previously, as you can see here, kita dah hantar our students to Indonesia, China, Philippines, Turkey, you name it. Dah merata dunia dah kita hantar student kita untuk buat exchange program ni. Okay. Okay, kalau ada students kita yang nak merasa ke luar negara tapi tak nak lama-lama, so don't worry, kita ada second option which they can choose to go for summer program. Summer program ni tempoh dia lebih pendek, dalam masa 2 minggu saja. Minimum 2 minggu lah, di mana most of our students choose to go during their semester break, sebab dekat UTP memang semester break dia lebih kurang dalam 2 minggu. So for this program, students can enroll in a short course either in culture, language or any technical courses, depend on the summer programs yang apa course yang diorang offer tu. So previous students have gone to South Korea and also Germany. Okay, apart from that, kita juga offer Research Attachment Program, RAP, di sebelah kanan gambar tu, where students get attached at the cutting edge research centers and experience working with global prominent researcher. So as shown here, we have students who undergo their RAP at USA, Germany and also Australia. For your information, mobility programs are not compulsory. However, it is nice to have program which could provide experience and added value to the students. There are extra fees for this program lah, of course. However, don't worry. At UTP, kita offer partial assistance for those who are eligible and meet the requirement. So this funding can be applied through Yayasan UTP or Tabung Amanah Zakat kat UTP. Alright. So moving on to the next office is Campus Life Office. Campus Life Office ni kita assist in student transition from high school to university life. So student transition from high school to university life ni might be stressful lah. So it is our main objective untuk provide all the necessary info to the students so that they can start their university life better. So we start to develop our students in building leadership capability since their first year lagi. There are so many programs crafted for our students which they can choose to join based on their interest. We don't want our student to just excel in academic but also in their interpersonal skill outside classroom. So kita nak our students punya campus life ni to be as interactive and engaging as possible. Okay. Because motto CSD adalah kita nak empower students. Maknanya kita bagi student peluang untuk do whatever they want to do, of course with our guidance. So in UTP, salah satu aim kita adalah untuk produce graduates with global citizenship mindset through community outreach programs. As such, students are provided with opportunity to participate and contribute to the community at a range of levels from local to global. So kalau tuan-puan boleh tengok kat sini dalam tahun 2019, daripada 3,200 students yang participate dekat dalam community outreach program, 266 dapat internalization experience by joining community outreach programs abroad. Yes, parent kita hantar student kita untuk buat community service outside of Malaysia. Okay. And also dekat UTP sekarang ni, we have currently more than 75 club and society in UTP. This will give chance for our student to socialize, getting to know new friends, and even traveling locally and internationally also, representing UTP in competition and programs. So club and society dekat UTP ni are very active, where normally we have annually dalam 300 lebih programs conducted by student clubs and society. Even during pandemic pun, we have so many programs virtually conducted by our students. Okay, so lastly kita ada talent enrichment office, di mana office ni kita responsible untuk develop and enhance student capabilities and potential in sports, art and culture. So office ni provide various extracurriculum courses for student to venture nanti. For sports and recreation, we believe that healthy body and mind will assist towards student success. Therefore, we have provided various types of sports facilities for students to experience, such as we have swimming pool, kita ada gymnasium. Our gymnasium is one of the best gymnasium in university lah among Malaysia. And various sports courts, kita ada banyak courts, dalam 13 court if I'm not mistaken, kayak and many more. So our UTP sport teams have achieved numerous recognition as well as achievement such as best sport teams mahasiswa for netball and rugby, and we also are the overall champion for international student sports carnivals and many more. So dekat UTP kita encourage our students to conduct and running events by themselves at various level. So currently dekat untuk sports kita ada quite number of signature programs which fully run by our own students. Moving on untuk arts and culture pula. Currently dekat UTP kita ada 15 active group arts and culture. So if your son or daughter minat menari ataupun minat music, don't worry, we have a club suitable for them. So that by joining this club, they can release some of their stress and also mewakili UTP untuk participate competition ataupun pergi buat persembahan lah dekat event lain. Okay. So many achievements have been achieved by our students, such as first prize for international folk dance dekat Shonan World Dance Festival dekat Korea sana, and our university is the first and the only higher learning institute that have produced gamelan Melayu album and can be streamed in all digital platform. So nak kata memang UTP ni memang support students kita in terms of sports and arts and culture, okay? And besides that, untuk develop lagi diorang punya skills in terms of art and culture ni, kita juga provide platform for the students by providing structured training and certified instructor. So, okay. So that's it from me. We welcome you to visit our office, and we shall assist to develop and enhance your son and daughter capabilities in becoming well-rounded global graduates. So any inquiries on how we can assist our students in develop their skills, kindly reach us at CSD at UTP on Facebook or also Instagram. Now, before we end our session, can we proceed with a video from CSD, which we want to showcase our student activities? Mr. Tajul, can you assist me in playing the video?
Okay, masuk. Dua screen dengan ni. Okay, welcome back, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Okay, so thank you for sharing, Puan Anis. So, sorry Puan Anis, do you have any other final words to parents ataupun nak share? I heard that you have about quiz for parents ataupun to anyone that view this sharing.
Yes, Mr. Tajul. So for parents, if you can see on our discussion forum, Mr. Ahmad PJ has posted 5 from Center for Student Development. If you can answer the quizzes, then you can win a prize voucher, e-voucher, GrabFood RM RM30 per quiz. So please answer the questions and we will be post the prizes to you later. Thank you.
Okay, ada quizzes, ada quizzes, ada hadiah-hadiah, ada macam-macam semua ni. Alright, thank you very much for the prizes apa semua untuk bagi kepada kita punya audience apa semua ya, Puan Anis, and also to CSD team. Okay, again, thank you very much Puan Anis for your time for the sharing to parents. And then the next session is our session with residential village that will be presented by Mr. Jeff. Okay, I would like to hand over the screen to Mr. Jeff. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Tajul and Puan Anis. Hello, Assalamualaikum everybody. My name is Muhammad Jafroy Sani. My name is Muhammad Jafroy Sani Abdul Ghaffar, Executive for Residential Village, Department University Technology Petronas. So for today, I will be sharing with all of you briefly about Residential Village, what we do, what we provide, and what all potential UTP students can expect when they enter UTP. But before we go into the slides, Mr. Tajul, we actually prepared a brief montage. So maybe you can assist in showing them the video first. So please enjoy. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Tajul, and also Ms. Nadia. Hope you guys get a gist of what will happen and what to expect on the day of arrival and registration to residential village, our hostel. Okay, so let's move on to my presentation. Overall, our aim is to provide a conducive environment for our students that chooses to stay with here in UTP by attending to their basic amenities and their needs within our capabilities. We want all students to feel at home when they are progressing towards their final goal, which is graduation from UTP. Okay, so we hope everyone can graduate happily lah from UTP. And then this is what we want everyone to feel here in residential village, a home away from home. All right. Here's an overall general map of the university and also the 5 kilometer vicinity. You can look for apa ni better, if you need the better details you can check in Google Map, but this is just to highlight the vicinity of the area around UTP. You can see the top left, that's our university. Our university mostly surrounded by natural forests and some man-made lakes, especially you can see at the surrounding Masjid An-Nur and also our oval park. Those are the close to the entrance of our university. Okay. At the bottom right, these are the closest towns from UTP. You see at the white area there. Those are Taman Maju, Bandar University, and a bit further down is Seri Iskandar Business Centre or SIDEC. This is the usual place where our students will go hang out. Sometimes when maybe they stayed in the campus for so long, they want to unwind, they go out. These are the usual spots. Last time, during I think maybe 10 years ago, you do not see much development in this area, only some local grocery shops. Now it's actually very developed. We have Tesco, we have Billion, we have Econsafe, supermarkets, and also we also have fast food outlets like KFC, 7-Eleven, Domino's, Secret Recipe, and many more. So many more place to hang out lah, as you say that, and also some foods that the youngsters might love. Okay, and then apart from that, there is also Hentian Bus Seri Iskandar, where students can buy bus tickets for them to go back hometown or go anywhere. The usual route is from here to KL. Also, I think there is a going northwards to Penang, Kedah, and eastward also they have tickets to Kelantan, Pahang, Pantai Timur. So that's the general area of the surrounding the university. Now I want to talk about our department itself. In RV, which is residential village, we are divided into 3 main units. First one is student accommodation. Number 2 is operation office and governance. And also number 3 is campus dining and catering, cafeteria lah, so to speak. So I myself in charge of student accommodation together with Puan Siti Nurul Ainani. I think Puan Siti Nurul Ainani is attending to the student session now. And Puan Afikah in charge of operation, and Shanizam is our executive for campus dining. So in the interest of our sharing today, I would say most of the student engagement is going through student accommodation punya unit instead of operation and cafeteria. Cafeteria directly they usually communicate with staff lah. So students semua punya communication usually go through our unit. So that's why under us we have 12 assistants supporting us. They are located in every village, every hostel area. So they are separated, they are divided into each blocks. Okay. So these assistants will be our front lines lah, for our students to communicate. And besides this management team, also we do have extended support, meaning support units by the students themselves, which I will share later. Okay. But before going to that, I want to talk about foundation structure program. This is, as you can see on the left tab, there's left picture there. the UTP Student Development and Experience Model. It basically says that the three phases that the students will go through and experience is there lah. So you are here, meaning the students, is currently in this transition period for new students that are coming into UTP as foundation, as first year undergraduate. They are in this transitional phase from schooling life, where students are need to learn to adjust their time and their studying style from school life, schooling style to university style. And then after that, when they go to year 2, year 3, internship and final year, those are the main core of the university life lah, which is transformational journey, the circle in the middle one, which is the transformation is to make the transition, the third phase, the transition to working life much better, so that we prepare the students in UTP. We aim to prepare the students to become well-rounded when they finish their studies. So it's not just study all the way and kata apa ulat buku lah. Not necessarily that. We want to arm them with several skills so that when they go into working life, they will become better lah, macam have an upper hand compared to other graduates. And then in our presentation today, I would highlight the transition phase lah, because that's our foundation structure program at. As your children enters our university, they are taking their first step, which is that transition period that I mentioned. During this period, all the students will be assisted by the 4 departments that I mentioned below. The first one is Center for Foundation Studies. This is this department will assist and support students regarding their academic matters. Okay, and then we have Center for Student Development, which is Puan Anis, our previous presenter, is from. They are assisting and supporting in terms of extracurricular activities, extracurricular skills lah, university events, and also student bodies that the student can join. Okay, and then number 3 is residential village. That's my department. We provide support regarding their place of stay, the basic amenities lah, when they are studying in UTP. And lastly, psychology and counseling service, PCS, is for spiritual or psychological well-being, take care of their needs. Okay. So in terms of my department, RB, under this foundation structured program, we specified Village 1 and Village 2 to be their default first touchdown. So their first touchdown when they enter UTP. Okay. So next, we will go to the room profile lah, to share with you what is Village 1, what is Village 2, and so on. Okay. Room profiles. This is general to give you the general idea of the room lah, how are the rooms in residential village. So we have a variety of village. We call it village lah, the accommodation areas. Village 1 and Village 2 is the same, having the same features. They are dormitory type. They have a single room and twin sharing room. The basic amenities is single mattress, study table, study lamp, socket, lamp pot, wardrobe, and so on. And then why we choose V1 and V2 to be their first touchdown area for foundation students is actually, one of the reasons is they have the closest distance lah to lecture halls, where foundation students will spend most of their time attending classes. So naturally, this place will be suitable because they do not have to travel too far. Dia macam clustered in very close area lah. Also, V1 and V2 are dormitory types, and by default, all students that are entering, their first room will be pre-assigned. Kita akan assign kepada pelajar tersebut lah. So by default their first room is for twin sharing lah. Kita tak letak di single room. Kita letak di twin sharing supaya so that they engage and communicate with each other. We don't want them to macam first day in the university dia dah duduk seorang-seorang. So we would want to encourage them to meet new friends, and so on. Okay. So this one is village 2. It's basically the same lah. Just village 2. By the way, village 2 is will have a refurbishment punya plan, so that we want to change their furnitures and so on to emulate village 1 punya style tadi tu. So if you notice that village 1 is a bit prettier because they have already completed their refurbishment. Village 2 masih dalam proses. So if you choose to enter UTP within this year, you might notice some blocks in village 2 to be closed lah, because kita nak do this refurbishment punya project. Okay. Regarding the single room that I mentioned earlier, they are actually available through booking. So we have this system, online booking system called UCampus. This system actually opens at every beginning of semester before the students come to UTP, like for the beginning of the semester. They can book their rooms through this system, UCampus. Tapi for new students, their first room tu kita tak go through this process lah. Kita pre-assign. Kita assign them first. However, after that, the students will need to learn to book the rooms themselves. So during booking tu, they can choose lah. Dia nak lepas tu dia fikir dia nak duduk single room ke, dia nak duduk double room ke, ataupun dia nak pergi ke village lain ke, boleh. After that lah kan, selepas habis this foundation punya structured program. Okay. So in talking about other villages, I will show as well the room profiles for other villages in short lah. These are room profile for V3, V4, V5, which is apartment style room. Our students, when they move up past the transitional period into this transformational journey yang cakap tadi tu is year 2, year 3 and final year. They can book these hostels lah through UCampus. Okay. So the layout is more or less the same because they are quite similar actually. It's just that V3, V4, V5 have extra amenities, which is air conditioning room. So in each villages, we have several rooms which have this extra amenity, which is air conditioning room lah. Jadi dia punya price pun different from the normal room. So this room also is available for booking in UCampus. So nanti bila students, when it's time for students to be able to choose their room, they can see lah if it's available or not. Kalau masih available, masih ada kekosongan, they can pick and choose lah. Okay. And then next up we have village 6, which is our oldest village among all of them, this dome style. So village 6 ni dia our oldest block dekat the block is at Masjid An-Nur. It's a bit secluded lah. This is our some of the favorite villages for final year. I think because they like the calmness of the surroundings, I guess. Because village 6 is surrounded by our lake, our man-made lake. It's also close to the Oval Park and also close to Masjid An-Nur. So you can imagine the place is pretty calm lah. It's not close to the academic building sangat lah. Okay. Next, just to go through the facility and services that you can expect when staying in our hostels. First off, all students will enjoy free internet, unlimited through individual LAN, and also 22.5 gigabytes through campus-wide Wi-Fi services. We also provide core-wave water dispenser at each residential block. And then we have laundry services, both self-service and over-the-counter. These laundry services, price dia around RM4 for washer and RM4 for dryer, the self-service one. And for the counter one, it's based on weight lah. Bawa banyak, bayar banyak lah. And then we also have central post laju kiosk in V4. This is for inbound parcel from post laju only. So outbound tak ada lah. We cannot send from here to outside. We only receive. Okay. And then the service, we have also printing services at our marts, mini mart. Also, we have a common room for students to make open discussion, and if they want to make study groups, and bila dah dekat-dekat nak exam, for example, they can use our common room. We also have meeting room for more formal punya meeting. They can come and book their rooms at this meeting room. So sometimes macam student body dia nak buat formal meeting kan, they can use this room. Rubel, our ruang belajar, this is like a common room. The difference is that we install air condition. So it's a bit special lah. Student suka duduk sejuk ni, they like to go to Rubel lah. Rubel is located at V5 currently. And then various sport facilities, which is clustered around V1 and also V5. However, they are accessible from other villages as well through walking distance, because it's not that far actually between villages. Volleyball court, futsal court, sepak takraw court, and basketball court. And then minimart lah, like I said, you can buy snacks, or you can buy your toiletries lah, apa semua ada kat minimart ni. And then next, we have janitor services for common spaces. These are the time schedule where the janitor will come and clean the places. Tapi common space je lah. So for cleanliness of the room, it is up to the responsibility of the students. Okay. When staying there, we hope they take care of their cleanliness lah themselves. Okay. And then parking spaces around the residential area. Obviously, we have parking spaces for cars. Also, we have motorbikes and bicycle. They are the parking area for motorbikes, motorcycle and bicycle is roof. Jadi kalau hujan tu no worries lah. And then we have female gym as well in V4. For especially for female those nak privacy sikit ke, they can go to the gym. Also, we have surau in every village and cafeteria in every village, which serves a variety of Malay cuisine, Chinese, Middle East. Sometimes diorang pun mix juga, campur-campur, they try new recipe. So it's going to be interesting. Okay. Other than that, you can also find a 24-hour in-house clinic, which offers free services to all UTP students. Okay, the clinic also has ambulance service for critical cases, and then 24-hour security patrolling around the villages to ensure the safety of the students. Dekat every village pun ada security post, so ini tempat yang the security will there will be security personnel there, so you can just for every, like let's say if an emergency occurs, you tak sempat nak call the emergency hotline ke apa ke, you can go to security post lah to notify them. Alright. And then ATM machine for ni lah, Maybank and CIMB nak keluar duit apa semua. And UTP shuttle bus which transports from the university outside to within Seri Iskandar Township. So kalau students yang they do not have transportation, they want to go outside, they can use our shuttle bus totally free. Okay. And then go a little bit into the within our hostel area. These are the things that you can bring and you cannot bring. So ada you nampak kat situ lah, microwave, table fan, allowed appliances, you can bring this. I think senang nak ingat is benda yang tak boleh bawa, prohibited appliances is more towards cooking. Sebab kita tak, we do not allow cooking in hostel area. And also we do prohibit appliances that has heavy electrical loads, macam refrigerator, television, aircon, all these things kita kita tak mahu kita tidak benarkan lah. Okay? So please only use our provided items and appliances to ensure everyone's safety in the hostel area. Okay. So okay, now we go into our initiative. Remember earlier I talked about apa ni selepas after the management apa ni assistance, we also have extended the support unit. So this is one of the initiatives lah. In terms of taking care of each other, the students during their life in their hostel, village representative. Dia ada satu group nama dia village representatives. This consists of students themselves. So students themselves, several students among the community will be nominated and appointed to be the spokesperson or to be the representatives of the general population. So the communications and also the apa kata any dealings with the management will go through village representatives in a systematic manner, because we want to give exposure to the students that this is the way of the working life. Dalam management ni ada proses dia and so on. So my personal comment that this is a good opportunity for the students to train their soft skills, and also the exposure towards management will definitely benefit them later in preparing themselves for their next journey in life, transformational journey too, and also working life later in the future. So apart from becoming the support unit in terms of all the working staff and all the management lah apa semua ni, they also, the fun part is that they can involve and they can plan and also organize events. So our localized events in residential village, while macam Center for Student Development, CSD, which is our previous presenter tadi, Puan Anis mentioned, they handle they are focused towards providing various university level events. We at RV, actually our focus is more towards macam making the village harmony living lah, macam tu. We cater towards that a bit more. So for example, like inter-village futsal competition, we have cultural events like Spring Festival, and then we also have a Festival of Arts, which is FESMA lah, Festival of Music and Arts, FESMA. These kind of events, we actually want to make keep the students engaged and get to know each other, while at the same time we tackle their we attract them based on their interest. So some students, they like physical activities, sports. Some students, they like arts, music. So we use this event as a bridge to make them communicate between each other. By the way, our events, kita memang do them in the village area, because that is the main point actually. We want the village area to be the place where they get to know each other, because after classes, memang most of the time they will spend their times in their village actually. So it is nice to make the village a very a welcoming place, conducive place, and happy place lah. Okay, so this is part of the initiatives that we encourage the students to join and also to participate, to become organizers, to plan this event, okay, for their benefit as well. Okay, so enough about that. Now, a bit of self plug lah. Our department have social media accounts, so you can follow us. For all parents, you can follow us on Instagram, and also like us on Facebook. Search UTP Residential Village. In Instagram is @rvutp_. We usually make make communication with students using internally je, like using emails and so on. However, some major announcements, we will post them on social media as well. So I would say the benefit if you follow our page is that you can see as well you can know about our updates as well. So that you can know what's going on in the university, what are the opportunities that your children can take part in, for example, the events tadi kan. So please follow and like us, okay? And then for any inquiries, yes, you can drop them in our current live chat box. However, if you need further clarification, like a bit more detailed punya explanation ke apa ke, you can use our Unified Customer Service UCS, which is accessible at ucs.utp.edu.my, or you can drop us an email to utp.rv@utp.edu.my. You can, nanti our personal person in charge will take the cases and they will answer your queries as best as they can. All right. And that is all from me. I would like to thank you all for your kind attention, and I hope everyone has a better understanding already lah regarding our hostel, what our services, what we do, and who are the team that behind Residential Village. Okay. So with that, I pass the stage back to host. Thank you very much.
Okay, now it is my turn basically to share about the financial assistance. Financial scholarship or sponsorship available that is available especially for this May intake and also for September intake as well. So I would like to start with the sharing. Okay, first of all, what is scholarship? What is sponsorship? What is loan? Everything. Okay, so basically scholarship is basically the amount of money ataupun duit yang diberikan kepada pelajar berdasarkan pelajar tu punya akademik, pencapaian akademik yang bagus dan juga merit serta kalau ikut yayasan bergantung kepada pelajar-pelajar yang cemerlang yang mana pelajar yang memerlukan ataupun deserving students lah. Okay, untuk scholarship there is full and also partial. Okay, full scholarship and partial scholarship. Okay, for full scholarship there is they cover semua tuition fees plus allowance. Okay, kadang-kadang dia bagi akan bagi book allowance apa semua tu. Untuk partial scholarship mostly they will cover only tuition fees, maybe up to, it depends on the sponsor sometimes, or some sponsors even pay up to 10,000 a year, ada 10,000 15,000 a year, ada up to 20,000 a year, including their allowance. Okay. And then there's education loan. So education loan ni there's a few education loan yang, satu education loan yang full education loan that you need to pay, you need to repay back, and the other one is convertible loan. Okay. So for financial assistance there's a few classification. There is from government, there's from corporate companies. Yang government ni macam JPA, memang government bodies, PARA, PTPTN. And then from corporate companies ada macam Shell, ada Exxon, ada from katalah Halliburton, Baker, Technip, betul. Ada from financial institution macam banks, bank rakyat, CIMB, Maybank, Agrobank. So there's a university scholarship. So most universities semua ada their own funding for scholarship. Macam UTP, we do have under sikit. Okay, for university we do have funding from zakat dan juga from Yayasan UTP. From zakat ni, there's because UTP is one of the amil for Majlis Agama Islam Perak. So all those funding ataupun payment for zakat that channel through UTP from UTP staff itself, ada Petronas staff, ada UTP alumni, and also there's from UTP partners yang mana payment through UTP, all the payments yang dapat untuk pembayaran zakat ni kita akan kita akan hand over kepada Majlis Agama Islam Perak. Dan selepas tu Majlis Agama Islam Perak akan return balik pada UTP about 50% untuk diberikan kepada pelajar-pelajar asnaf yang memerlukan. Okay, untuk UTP kita ada full scholarship yang contohnya macam Petronas, JPA, MARA, Yayasan UTP, Pelaju dan juga certain badan korporat yang lain. Kita ada partial, contohnya macam PTPTN. So PTPTN ni partial sebabnya even though dia bagi maximum loan ataupun 100% loan, but dia still tak cukup lagi untuk cover the rest of tuition fees. I will explain a bit further nanti. And then that's from tabung zakat, whereby tabung zakat tak cover kesemua. Mostly tabung zakat akan make sure that pelajar ni akan kena apply PTPTN juga. And then there's a state foundation macam Yayasan Perak, Yayasan Sabah, Yayasan Terengganu, Yayasan Pahang ada bagi. And then certain corporate bodies yang mana contohnya macam Sinciu, Gadang, KLK, Baker, semua dia ada bagi partial saja. Contohnya dia bagi up to 20,000 a year, you know. And then juga there's one-off assistance yang mana one-off assistance ni ada daripada zakat, ada daripada yayasan. Sebabnya one-off assistance ni dia punya kriteria dia lain. Contohnya macam kriteria dia perlukan income kategori below 5,000 dan juga CGPA below above 2.75. Macam tadi untuk yayasan UTP requirement dia lebih tinggi 3.5 itu. Okay, this is UTP kita ada internal dan juga external sponsorship. Okay, untuk internal sponsorship daripada yayasan, kita ada yayasan full scholarship program yang mana this program cover daripada foundation sampai habis degree. Contohnya kalau ambil engineering, foundation engineering 1 tahun dan degree program untuk engineering 4 tahun. So dia punya requirement adalah sama seperti Petronas punya scholarship punya requirement, which is 3 A's. Okay, lepas tu permohonan juga melalui link yang sama di Petronas. Okay, so semua requirement kita akan buat proses assessment dia semua sama macam Petronas punya scholarship. Lepas tu kita ada yayasan dengan partnership dengan companies. Contohnya macam kita ada partnership dengan Teknik, partnership dengan Halliburton, dan juga ada Baker Hughes yang mana mostly semua company ni akan sponsor untuk pelajar di peringkat ijazah saja. So foundation dia tak cover. So that's why duration dia hanyalah selama maksimum 4 tahun. Okay, selain itu juga kita ada daripada Yayasan UTP yang mana this is kita panggil education grant. Yang mana education grant ni dia akan cover hanyalah tuition fee sahaja. Okay, dia tak cover monthly allowance macam tadi Yayasan UTP Scholarship, dia cover monthly allowance lebih kurang 800 sebulan untuk pelajar dan juga ada duit poket, duit buku semua tu. Macam ya, education grant ni hanyalah untuk cover tuition fees mata-mata. Okay, education grant ni tuition fees ada 2 kategori. Satu AG 100 yang mana cover sehingga 100,000 dan satu lagi AG 50 yang mana cover sehingga 50,000. Yang mana 100,000 itu maksudnya cukuplah untuk cover semua tuition fees. Tapi yang untuk 50 EG 50 ni yang kata 50,000 ni dia perlukan tambahan top up sendiri, sama ada top up tu nak gunakan duit sendiri ataupun duit EPF ataupun nak gunakan PTPTN sebagai sumber kewangan untuk top up. Okay. Tapi untuk this criteria adalah slightly different. Macam tadi scholarship Petronas dia perlukan minimum kriteria, the kriterianya adalah below 4,000 income. So kalau untuk education grant ni adalah below 10,000. Okay. Okay, kalau dari segi SPM score kita perlukan 8A minus, dan juga kalau daripada diploma, matrix ataupun foundation tempat lain semua kita perlukan CGPA 3.5. Okay, yang tadi untuk kita ada UTP bursary. Yang UTP bursary ni kita akan buka pada setiap semester, every semester. Okay, the requirements are slightly different. The GPA require at least 2.75, and then the household income is below 6,000. Okay, so there's a few criteria. Okay, yang mana for this one we only cover to students yang under PTPTN punya sponsorship or under tak ada sponsors lah, maksudnya without sponsors. Okay, ataupun yang without sponsor macam first semester, second semester student yang belum dapat sponsor. Sebabnya this one we call it as an assistant, extra assistance to the student, yang mana contohnya result semester few semester lepas dia dapat katalah below tu, yang mana PTPTN tak bayar. So untuk few next 2 semester dia dah score balik apa semua, so ada hutang-hutang yang tertinggal tu terpaksa dibayarlah gitu. Okay, lepas tu kita ada tabung zakat. Okay, tabung zakat kita ada 2 scheme. First special scheme dan juga normal scheme. So special scheme ni kita ada untuk B40 kategori. Kita ada saya ada buat sedikit summary untuk mudahkan lagi faham, yang mana untuk B40 kategori ni kita katakan yang macam ni. Untuk B40 kategori, kalau ikutkan komitmen, walaupun yuran tu 18,000, tetapi komitmen daripada ibu bapa untuk sepanjang pengajian selama setahun di UTP tu, ibu bapa tak perlu buat bayaran apa-apa pun. Okay, cumanya anak tu perlu mohon PTPTN, sebab pihak tabung amanah zakat cuma akan buat bayaran selebihnya setelah ditolak PTPTN. Contohnya kadar yuran yang kita kenakan adalah sebanyak 18,000, PTPTN cuma cover sehingga 6,800. Balance daripada setelah ditolak PTPTN tu lebih kurang dalam 12-13,000 tu akan di cover ataupun di top up oleh tabung amanah zakat. So ini bermakna ibu bapa tak perlu bayar apa-apa langsung dah. Selepas tu cumanya perlu bayar untuk ataupun berikan kepada pelajar untuk duit poket, untuk duit makan setiap bulan, itu saja. Okey, lepas tu untuk M40 pelajar pun kena mohon juga PTPTN, tetapi PTPTN akan bagi sehingga 5,000. Okey, yuran dia ada 18, tolak 5,000 tinggal lagi 13,000. So untuk 13,000 ni 9,000 ni akan ditolak daripada tabung zakat. Okay, so tinggal lagi 4,000 lebih. So 4,000 lebih tu kita bukanlah minta sekaligus untuk lump sum payment. So payment ni adalah by semester. So by semester ni kalau ada 4,000 lebih bagi 3 semester, satu semester lebih kurang 1,000 lebih lah. Okay, so bila satu semester 1,000 lebih, satu semester ada 4 bulan. So kalau nak mudahkan semua lagi, kita buat pengiraan untuk setiap bulan adalah lebih kurang 367 sebulan saja. Kita tak adalah banyak. So kalau nak senang, so contohnya masuk Mei, bayarlah sikit 3,400, lepas tu 400 lagi next semester, next month, bulan 6, bulan 7 pun lagi 400, okay. Lepas tu bulan 8 pun lagi 2,300. So settle untuk that semester. So that's why kita katakan yang bayaran ni bukan dah sekaligus yang kita minta. Okay, cumanya dari segi invoice dia ada 3 kali setahun lah, bergantung kepada semester. Okay, itulah kita nak tunjukkan yang sebenarnya tak adalah banyak. Kalau tengok nombor daripada segi kadar yuran sekaligus satu tahun tu memanglah banyak, tetapi kalau kita buat setelah ditolak PTPTN, setelah ditolak tabung amanah zakat, ada sedikit saja yang perlu dibayar, dan kalau kita buat pembayaran daripada setiap bulan tu itu kadang-kadang lebih kurang lah. Satu lagi ada, okay, kita nak maklumkan yang untuk tabung amanah zakat ni, ini adalah untuk khas untuk Mei intake tau. Mei intake lagi sebulan setengah ni. Untuk katalah yang ada, sebab ada yang keluarga yang katakan takut dulu anak dia dapat 8A waktu trial. Lepas tu bila actual result nanti, sebab kita jangkakan result SPM akan keluar hujung bulan 5 ataupun awal bulan 6. So bila keluar result SPM ni, anak cuma dapat 3A saja. So jangan risau. Untuk ni anak-anak puan tak akan dilucutkan dia punya tawaran tu, masih berjalan macam apa yang kita tawarkan. Cumanya apa yang kita perlukan sebenarnya adalah minimum C saja untuk setiap subjek. Okay, kalau anak-anak dapat kurang daripada A apa yang dia dapat, tetapi semua punya kelayakan minimum dia cukup setiap C pada setiap subjek tu, dan tak ada masalah, boleh teruskan macam biasa. Okay, lepas tu lagi pelajar-pelajar yang kata dapat straight A's ke, ada dapat 6A ke, 7A ke, semua tu kita memang menggalakkan untuk pelajar-pelajar yang sedang belajar ni untuk memohon penajaan yang lain. Okay, berdasarkan result yang dia dapat dan juga requirement daripada penaja-penaja yang ada itulah nanti. Sebabnya setiap penaja tu ada requirement masing-masing. Ada penaja yang nak 6A saja, ada yang nak 7A, ada yang nak 8A, ada yang nak straight A lah, A plus lah. Dan juga ada requirement daripada setengahnya requirement untuk gaji, contohnya below 4,000, nak below 10,000. So ada yang tak ada tengok pun pasal gaji. So bergantung kepada penaja-penaja. So kita akan bantu pelajar-pelajar yang dah masuk ni untuk update semua penajaan yang available pada masa tu. Dan satu lagi, ada ini takut juga setengah ada parent yang tanyalah, kalau ini anak saya contohnya dulu katalah dapat trial, okey boleh masuk semua. Tapi bila actualnya result dia dapat ada satu physics dapat D contohnya. So bila fizik dapat D ni, kalau ikutkan kelayakan minimum, tak layaklah untuk kalau dia nak teruskan di dalam program engineering. So tapi kalau dia tak layak, kita akan bagi nasihatkan dia lah untuk tukar program. Contohnya untuk pergi ke program IT ke, ataupun pergi ke program sistem maklumat, ataupun pergi ke program computer science yang mana tak memerlukan fizik. Tapi kalau dia still nak buat engineering juga, tapi memang kita kalau ikut kelayakan kita memang tak boleh, dan kita terpaksa dia terpaksa withdraw daripada UTP lah. So untuk yang tu tak ada kita kenakan yuran lah. Cumanya yang 1,300 tu itu adalah bukan bayaran untuk yuran, itu adalah untuk pengesahan pendaftaran saja, yang mana kalau dah masuk tu maksudnya duit tu semua dah diguna pakai untuk proses kemasukan lah, proses minggu orientasi, alam siswa semua tu kita dah gunakan duit tu lah. Okay, so itu saja yang penting. Okay. Okay, ini adalah summary ataupun secara ringkasnya untuk tabung amanah zakat. Okay, tabung amanah zakat yang kita memang highlightkan untuk main semester saja, sebab kita nak gunakan duit tabung yang diamanahkan kepada kita ni untuk diberikan kepada pelajar secepat mungkin. Okay, alright, itu yang summary ni untuk below 4,000, komitmennya macam seolah-olah free, dan juga M40 yang mana kategori 4,000 ke 8,000 ni hanyalah lebih kurang 367 sebulan. Okey, selain daripada tu, untuk penajaan yang luar yang lain, kita ada daripada contoh Petronas. Petronas ni, yes, kita katakan dia external sponsorship sebabnya dia di luar bidang kuasa UTP. Cumanya Petronas ni adalah syarikat adik-beradik dengan UTP lah. So, banyak tajaan Petronas akan ditempatkan di UTP, lebih kurang 200 lebih untuk ditempatkan di UTP setiap tahun untuk penajaan baru. Semua penajaan Petronas ni daripada lepasan SPM saja. Okey. Nanti kita akan maklumkan bila Petronas dah keluarkan dia punya iklan untuk especially kepada pelajar-pelajar yang masuk untuk Mei lah. So that's why pelajar Mei nanti kita akan maklumkan semua pelajar-pelajar yang keluar ataupun yang dah update untuk penajaan mereka. Lepas tu kita ada MARA yang talent program. Kita ada dapat pengesahan daripada MARA untuk dia tempatkan 100 pelajar tajaan MARA untuk lepasan SPM ataupun dipanggil Young Talent Program di UTP. So requirement adalah cuma 6A saja. Lepas tu kita ada MARA TSP. Okey, untuk lepasan bila dah habis foundation, jangan risau sebab katalah contohnya pelajar waktu foundation ni SPM cuma dapat 8B contohnya, straight Bs. Okay, so tak layak untuk mohon scholarship ke mana. So jangan risau, boleh teruskan belajar foundation di UTP ni, make sure nanti score 3.0, nanti bila dah habis foundation ni masuk degree nanti boleh apply MARA TSP. Ni memang dia buka every semester untuk kelayakan minimumnya adalah cuma 3.0 saja. Okay. So memang sure dapat. Lepas tu untuk MARA GRP ni untuk scholarship, lepas tu ada JPA. PIDN ni program ijazah dalam negara. So untuk PIDN ni requirement dia adalah 3.3 je lah. Alright. Tu kita ada yayasan-yayasan lain semua ketajaan di peringkat ijazah. Okay, ini kita nak kita nak maklumkan untuk pembiayaan ataupun pinjaman PTPTN. Okay, dia ada tiga kategori. Yang kategori pertama, kategori yang 4,000 ke bawah ataupun penerima BRIM ataupun penerima BPN, Bantuan Prihatin Nasional, yang mana untuk ibu bapa yang dalam kategori ini, anaknya akan dapat straight memang terus dapat 6,800. Ini kita tak perlukan, kita panggil kita panggil macam kelayakan ataupun proof. Sebabnya bila apply PTPTN nanti, pelajar kena masukkan IC ibu bapa. So bila IC ibu bapa tu dia akan terus link dengan lembaga hasil. Okey, itu. Lepas tu untuk kategori kedua, kategori 4,000 ke 8,000, pelajar akan dapat lebih kurang 75% daripada maksimum loan. Okey, so untuk foundation punya program, pelajar akan dapat 5,100 lah tadi. Okey, untuk kategori ketiga ni, yang mana income parents ni lebih daripada 8,000, so untuk foundation hanya akan dapat 3,400. So jangan risau, untuk 3,400 ni setelah 18,000 tolak 3,000. Okey, untuk 3,000 pelajar yang mana keluarga berpendapatan lebih daripada 8,000, mereka dapat 3,000 setahun. 3,000 setahun ni, contoh 18,000 tolak 3,000, ada lagi balance 15,000 yang perlu dibayar. So, untuk 15,000 ni untuk keluarga yang lebih daripada 8,000 ni, so jangan risau, 15,000 tu bukan dibayar sekaligus. 15,000 hanya dibayar mengikut stages lah, kita bahagikan kepada 3 semester. Semester pertama lebih kurang 5,000. Semester kedua pun lebih kurang 5,000 kena top up lah. Tetapi yang 5,000 tu, kalau tak nak bayar sekaligus, bayar pun bulan-bulan pun boleh. Tetapi nak senang bayar, contohnya kalau masuk bulan 5 bayar 1,500, bulan 6 bayar 1,500, bulan 7 pun bayar 1,500. So boleh settle cepat lah, maksudnya tak terasa sangat lah kalau compare dengan nak bayar 5,000 terus macam tu. Okay. Okey, selain pada tu, untuk kategori macam M40 ataupun B40 yang perlukan duit ataupun extra financing untuk bayar yuran pengajian kalau gunakan PTPTN tak cukup. Okey, untuk foundation kita tak boleh keluarkan EPF. Okey, hanya untuk degree program saja yang kita boleh keluarkan EPF. So untuk itu kita ada buat partnership dengan Bank Rakyat. So basically untuk financing tu tak ada masalah lah untuk kategori family income above 4,000 dari 8,000 ni. So requirement dia cuma dia perlukan payslip, yang mana kalau ikutkan requirement minimumnya hanyalah 2,000 sebulan gaji, tetapi sekarang ni bergantung kepada kredit eligibility oleh ibu bapa lah. Rate dia sangat rendah daripada Bank Rakyat yang buat 3.31% saja. Dan juga the good thing is monthly installment dia akan start selepas tamat pengajian. Okey, ini bermaksud kalau compare dengan personal loan apa semua, dia akan start bayar immediately next month kan. So kalau macam ini, untuk Bank Rakyat Education Financing ni akan bayar setelah tamat pengajian. Okey, so untuk maklumat seterusnya boleh berhubung dengan Encik Encik Azizul dekat Bank Rakyat Sri Iskandar. Tapi ini kita buat dengan Bank Rakyat Sri Iskandar je lah supaya satu lagi bank rakyat ni ada dekat di Sri Iskandar, senang untuk kemudahan kepada pelajar-pelajar juga. Okay, maksimum amouncing yang boleh apply sehingga 100,000, tetapi itu bergantung pada credit eligibility jugalah. Okay, EPF withdrawal hanyalah untuk degree program sahaja. So kalau habis foundation, bila masuk ke degree nanti, ada dua option jugalah, sama ada nak continue terus dengan EPF ataupun continue terus dengan bank rakyat ataupun nak gunakan EPF juga. So mana-mana pun boleh. So bergantung pada preference mak dan ayah lah. Kalau ada duit banyak dalam akaun satu, nak gunakan tu pun boleh. Akaun dua. Okay, satu lagi benda yang ini benda penting lah, especially untuk ibu bapa untuk tolong monitor anak-anak, especially untuk bila nak apply tu. So contohnya especially untuk dokumen lah, yang mana dokumen semua ni perlu dapat pengesahan, kita panggil apa, yang certified true copy tu. So yang pentingnya adalah satu, kalau dah keluar result SPM nanti, kena buat banyak few copies, yang mana setiap copies tu kena buat pengesahan diakui sah, ataupun Englishnya certified true copy lah. So macam result SPM, lepas tu sijil-sijil co-curriculum yang dia ambil waktu form 4, form 5 tu, especially sijil, ataupun kalau dia waktu form 3 pun boleh juga. Kalau dia ada contoh wakil yang tinggi-tinggi lah, wakil negeri, wakil negara apa semua tu, tak kisahlah dalam penglibatan apa sekalipun, akademik ke, penglibatan sukan ke, penglibatan kelab-kelab ke apa semua, mewakili negeri negara ke, semua pun boleh. Make sure ada evidence lah itu. So tak boleh tulis dekat bila mohon nanti tak ada evidence, susah. Lepas tu IC yang penting. Lepas tu kalau macam especially kalau dia require Bumiputra, kena ada surat beranak lah tu, yang mana menunjukkan Bumiputra. Yang dalam surat beranak tu akan menunjukkan Bumiputra. Kalau IC tak nampak dia punya status Bumiputra tu. Okey, itu saja. Alright. Okay, yang satu lagi penting adalah deadline. So make sure deadline ni kena tengok betul-betul sebab sekarang ni kebanyakan permohonan adalah melalui online. So bila online ni, bila tutup deadline ni, dia orang tutup saja, memang dah tak boleh submit dah. Okay, dah tak ada form macam tu, susah. So make sure betul-betul tengok bila boleh submit dan juga bila kena completekan semua dokumen. Dan yang paling penting, bila submit dokumen tu, make sure complete dokumen, sebab jangan ada dokumen-dokumen yang tak hantar. Sebabnya nanti kita takut kalau pihak penaja buat screening apa semua, dokumen tak cukup, nanti dia akan katakan, sebab kalau contohnya allocation dia ada 300 tapi permohonan dia ada sampai 3,000, 10 kali ganda. So nak memudahkan proses atau kerja dia akan tengok benda yang complete sahaja. Okay, yang tak complete tu pun dia akan katakan incomplete document. So macam seolah-olah macam pelajar tak berminat lah macam tu. So lebih baik kan make sure benda semua complete dan baru submit. Okay. Dan juga submit pun before the deadline. Dan juga satu lagi, contact details. Okay, sebab contact details ni kadang-kadang especially pelajar-pelajar, dia letak contact detail, kadang-kadang dia tukar ada tukar-tukar nombor apa semua tu. Make sure contact number ni yang reachable. Sebabnya takut nanti contact nombor untuk cakap lain, WhatsApp pun nombor lain pula. So jangan menyusahkan pihak penaja lah. Itu. Dan satu lagi, email. Make sure email yang selalu dibuka lah, supaya bila pihak penaja hantar email apa semua, senang saja. Janganlah bila penaja hantar email kata interview lagi minggu depan, so minggu depan baru nak buka email, dan kalut, susah sikit lah. Okay, just this is last one lah. Memang kita nak highlight kenapa pelajar-pelajar perlu study ataupun perlu sambung kat UTP, especially untuk main intake. Sebab satu, gunakan trial result lah, sebab ada yang pihak parents kata nak tunggu anak habis dapat result SPM dulu. Sebenarnya untuk pelajar-pelajar tunggu result ke ataupun study sekarang pun, kalau tunggu result nak dapat ke penaja, sama sajalah kalau nak tunggu sekarang, start study sekarang ataupun study kemudian. Cumanya bezanya nanti kalau pelajar yang start untuk main intake ni, dia punya momentum yang waktu habis SPM ni masih tinggi lagi. So bila dia nak belajar tu nanti, insyaAllah mudahlah, sebab dia banyak lagi masih ingat apa yang dia belajar tu, as compare tu dah 7-8 bulan tak belajar, dah buat benda lain apa semua, nak start balik tu susah. Dan juga nanti bila kita nakkan result foundation ni pun as good as waktu SPM dululah, maintain a good momentum. Contohnya study semua at least boleh score 3.0 for the first semester ataupun 3.5 first semester. Kalau start first semester pun dah 2.0, 2.5 susah nah, nanti bila second semester nak reach out balik. Okay, supaya nanti bila result foundation tu nanti boleh digunakan untuk apply degree ataupun apply penaja-penaja lain, especially kalau dah habis foundation lah. Dan lepas tu satu lagi, pelajar-pelajar ni akan habis awal as compared to kawan-kawan dia yang masuk September. So bila habis awal study ni, dia akan dapat exposure ataupun peluang lebih awal daripada kawan. So dia bukan boleh kerja dulu, maksudnya competition dekat situ dah kurang. Dan satu lagi, bezanya kalau masuk dekat UTP as compared to masuk kat matrik. Kalau matrik ni masuk, habis matrik ni nanti dia tak tahu, tak ada hala tuju lagi apa nak buat, walaupun dia kata dia nak buat mechanical apa semua, tetapi bila habis foundation dia belum tentu dapat, dia apply ke mechanical tu dapat, sebabnya competition banyak bila dah habis. Sekarang ni untuk UTP, untuk main intake especially, bila dia masuk ke foundation ni, untuk dia nak buat mechanical tu dah tentu, sebab kita dah reserve dia punya seat dekat undergraduate degree program tu untuk mechanical engineering bila dah habis foundation. Dan satu lagi untuk degree program UTP, kita bagi priority kepada pelajar-pelajar foundation untuk seat kita reserve dulu. So as compared to other, contohnya macam matrik dan semua, so kalau reserve seat untuk foundation tu dah penuh, baru kita tak ambil lah, contohnya macam mechanical tak ambil lagi dah. So kita akan suggest untuk program lain. That's why kita beri priority kepada pelajar-pelajar daripada foundation tu sendiri. Okey, itu saja apa yang saya boleh sharekan setakat ni. Okey, untuk contact number saya ada di sini, dan juga tim saya dengan Cik Syarul, Puan Syida, Puan Farida untuk sponsorship, scholarship dan juga marketing yang lain. Kita ada untuk tim daripada Zakat, kita ada Ustaz Syukri dan juga Puan Syamsina, dan juga daripada tim Yayasan UTP, kita ada Encik Syazlan, Encik Sharifah dan juga Encik Wardi. So, contact number ada di sini. Kalau sekiranya ingin tanya apa-apa, boleh contact terus di contact number yang disediakan. Untuk kalau sekiranya tuan-tuan perlu nak WhatsApp, saya akan dropkan saya punya mobile number di chat room ni, supaya tuan-tuan kalau perlukan nak message instant apa semua, boleh terus WhatsApp kepada saya. Okey, itu saja buat masa ini. Okey, sekiranya ada apa-apa persoalan lagi daripada tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Ya, kita tengok. Saya ada letakkan saya punya nombor telefon untuk WhatsApp ataupun nak call boleh. Okey, sekarang dah pukul 11 lebih dah. Okey, untuk tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sekiranya kalau tak ada apa-apa soalan, saya akan tamatkan session untuk ibu bapa sekarang. Tuan-tuan boleh pergi ke session untuk tengok sesi akademik pula selepas ni untuk pelajar-pelajar. Hari ini sesi untuk petroleum engineering dan juga petroleum geoscience. Okey, baik, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.